and welcome to the 1995 Bon Jovi concert series. So today I have something special. I'm pretty sure, especially because I haven't done anything like this, but I'm pretty sure that we'll have more of what I'm going to share with you today in the upcoming series. Because this is a promo show, so next to the touring, they also did promo shows, sometimes with television programs, or sometimes, as was the case with this one, on location. So this was a record store in Glasgow, Scotland, and Bon Jovi visited this store between their gig in Barcelona in 1995 and the gig in Portugal 2 days after. So in between they had one day, and they flew to Scotland and did a half-hour show in a record store, and then they flew back. I don't know like where they slept or anything, but then they went to Portugal, Lisbon. So in this series I cover all the shows that I have footage from. The Portugal show, there's no footage, there's nothing on YouTube I can find, so unfortunately we're gonna have to skip that one and just go straight to Belgium, to Werchter, which is where they did the next show. So this is the promo show they did in Tower Records, Glasgow, and well, pretty much just like them, I'm extremely pressed for time today. So this is going to be a very short review, but then I also thought, okay, well, that's really kind of like in line with what they did, because last time I did a half-hour review over a 2.5-hour show. So, well, that would mean that I would have like a 6-minute review if I had the same portion here. It's going to be a bit longer than 6 minutes, but just let's go. Okay, so it was Tower Records. There's a great footage from it, visual. The past couple of shows I have had shows where there's no visual, so there's no, I can't see the real video, only audio. And this is a nice change, because this is just, it's filmed from the street. Someone who had, he really knew his material. It's exceptionally well shot, great quality. If you consider the fact that it was shot from in the street. From across the street, lots of screaming fans. The audio, the technicians at Tower Records obviously also did a really great job at getting the music into the street. So that was not not a credit to the filmer of this video, but yeah, it's a great video. I will put it in the description box so you can watch for yourself, and I'll also put it on the source list where I put all the shows from this series. So they did a short show with 6 songs. It was acoustic, so it was Richie on guitar, John on guitar, John Shanks, and Tico Torres there. And for but Tico Torres, the drummer, you can only hear, I can't say acoustic drums, but it's kind of like an improvised drumming. It's not like, it's the kind of drumming that you would expect with an acoustic show. So, and for the last song, Sleep When I'm Dead, that's when David Bryan comes in, so you can hear piano. That's really good as well. So it was from the windows of the first floor, and it's a really great performance. And I really scribbled down, like, you can lick the 90s off the screen. It's just so 90s, and I try to figure out why that is. I've got a couple of things. One is, like, John is wearing his day-to-day outfit, so he's not wearing his stage outfit. So he's wearing cowboy boots, and I'm pretty sure that he doesn't wear them on stage. He wears shoes where he can just run around and just more. I don't know if you've ever worn cowboy boots, but they have really slippery soles, and even if you like put in put soles under there that are that have more texture, it's still a lot more dangerous to run around in cowboy boots on stage than it is to wear more sports-like shoes. So he's wearing his cowboy boots. He's wearing stonewashed jeans. He's wearing a black plain t-shirt. And you can see how 90s this is by watching, I think it is the roadie or someone from Tower Records who's frequently in frame. And he's wearing the exact same outfit. So it was like in the 90s, everybody was wearing, like, you know, all the guys were wearing stonewashed jeans, cowboy boots, and black shirts. So yeah, it really is a very 90s outfit. His hair is, he's not wearing his bandana, he's only wearing sunglasses. And he looks very, very much like Jim Morrison because he's not wearing the bandana and because he's wearing sunglasses, and also he's really, really tired. You can see this at 2 occasions, which is probably also why I, see it as very Jim Morrison-like. He says at one point he forgets that it's the middle of the day, and he says something like, "Oh, you don't have to go to work tomorrow." Well, you don't have to go to work tomorrow is valid if you say it if it's a nighttime show and the people are out late, somewhere in the country, and you say, "Oh, you don't have to go to work tomorrow, so I'll tell your boss I said it's okay." So he is kind of like used to saying that, and he corrects himself to, "You don't have to go to work this afternoon." So you can see that he understands that he made a mistake and he corrects it, but that's where you can see that he's really tired. And at another point you can really see he's touching his face, it's just because he's so tired. So you can see that between, so first of all, the 6 songs they're playing are Love for Sale, great opener, Living on a Prayer, Wanted Dead or Alive, which are kind of like their classics to play acoustic. They started this, I think it was in the 80s, and at MTV, and it actually led into a whole series called Unplugged with a variety of artists. So Living on a Prayer, Wanted Dead or Alive are kind of the classics to do acoustic. Then Blood on Blood, I will tell a little bit more about that in a minute. Then This Ain't the Love Song, which was from their then new album These Days, and then I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, where David Bryan comes in. Okay, so he literally says between Living on a Prayer and Wanted Dead or Alive, that's where he makes the first remark where you think, oh, he's really tired. Nobody has to get back to work tomorrow. The rest of the day you can take off and tell your boss that we said it's okay. And when you're looking for a job, it's okay. You can join a rock and roll band. I know. So that's kind of cute. And then the other one was 21 minutes and 5 seconds. So it's right before This Ain't a Love Song. That's where you can see that he's really tired. Then I also made a little note here that he's wearing a belt together with the cowboy boots, together with the kind of like plain outfit of the stonewashed jeans and the black shirt. I have never seen him wearing a belt on stage. I'm wearing a belt right now. This is a really heavy one, and I don't wear it every day because I'm like, if you want to get around, you don't want to be wearing a belt. So yeah, so he's wearing a belt. I just noticed that I scribbled that note now. So yeah, that's where you can see, those are the things, the markers that I kind of like discussed, like, okay, what can you see, what can you expect? great show, acoustic show. And at the end, he thanks the police because there was a lot of they had to switch location. Ultimately, they were allowed to play it here and at Tower Records, and but that was not the first location that they chose. And so he says literally between this and the love song and I'll Sleep When I'm Dead, he says, we only got time for one more, but I have to thank all of you. I want to thank everybody at the Glasgow Police Department for letting us shut down the town here. Everybody at Tower Records, and then he says something I can't understand, but it has Dunkin' Donuts in it, so that's cute. Yeah, so that's like a very quick overview. Like normally I would stop now because I really have to go, and also it was a very small show. I mean the punchline is just go watch it. It's really, really great. But I have made a kind of a commitment with my last video from Barcelona that every time they would play Blood on Blood, I would say something healing and loving about Blood on Blood, about friendship, and about what happened to John and Richie. The John and Richie is really this topic within fandom where we kind of like, oh, we just feel it like nails scratching over the blackboard. It's like, ugh, it's so painful for everybody how that happened, and I feel the need to well, contribute something loving, contribute something that is, you know, healing, and it kind of like makes sense for your own life, basically. So in the video for Barcelona, I talked about how when you have multi-layered relationships, so you have a business relationship with someone, but you also have a friendship, or the business relationship in itself is very complicated. How you can curate the good parts and not let, you know, no longer being able to work together on one part influence everything you got. And so I talked about that in the previous video, and this one I really want to, you know, my Blood on Blood contribution for today is that when you have people in your life for a very long time, the relationship becomes symbiotic. So there is no, you can't separate anymore. It means that if you push people like that out of your life, you're basically pushing a really big part of yourself out of your life. And the way to avoid doing that is to separate loving someone and being part of someone's life and acknowledging what you still have and what will always be there, and separate that from, is it possible to really be with this person right now? So a really good example is, let's say someone is on drugs, and you know that if you have that person in your house, they will steal your money, they may even threaten you, like be violent or something like that. In a situation like that, you really have to separate having that person actually in your life from still really being very loving towards them. So instead of that, you're saying, okay, because you can't have this person in your life, you're saying, oh, I don't want you in my life anymore. You just say, I really love you. I would like to see you again next week, or when you're sober, or but you don't like express your anger or disappointment for no longer being able to have that person in your life, to, you know, draw a line in the sand. You know, don't let the line that you draw in the sand be the line of love. Let the love just flow freely, and draw the line in the sand where you have to. So for Richie and Bon Jovi, that would have been, okay, we respect that you can't come on tour with us, but we keep all the other you know, doors open, and we keep our love open towards each other. And so that's another part. I've kind of like melted the two topics from last week and this week together, right? But yeah, so it's you draw a line in the sand, you curate what you can, and also you acknowledge that, you know, when someone has been that close, because for example it's a family member, or because you've been in the band for 25 years or 30 years at a time, that you acknowledge that it's not that the option of, you know, cutting someone out of your heart is really, it's not an option. It's impossible to, when two have become one, to part. And I think that's a really, I think people overestimate their ability to part, or to divorce, or to yeah, have someone go out of your life. And it's really, it's not possible. And if you do that, then you're not just violent towards the other person, but also really towards yourself, because you're, it's like cutting off a limb, you know, you need that shit. Okay, so that was it for today. Yeah, take care of yourself, don't cut off any limbs, and be loving towards the people that are in your life, and especially the ones that are in your heart. Okay, so see you next time. We're going to skip Portugal, but we'll be back with Werchter, Belgium. There's a great recording from that. So that's what we're going to do. See you there. Bye.